Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for coming. This is our changing of the guard town hall. Kind of bittersweet, but I'm really appreciative of all you guys for showing up and being here. This has been a pretty amazing year. I think we had a really successful Element 11. I think we had an incredibly successful temple burn at Burning Man. And I think the decompression was one of the best decompressions that we've had. So right now we're well done. You guys are really bringing it, and we can't do this without all of you. And so thank you all for the contributions that you're making to this community, because it's really it's really incredible to see just how we've leveled up so much over the even for as long as I've been on the board. Just seeing that progression has been amazing, and you guys are all part of that. So thank you very much.
For you top burners.
Yeah. We really are seen as one of the model communities and regionals amongst the larger Burning Man family. I mean, they really do appreciate what just the Utah burner crew, not just Element 11, but our burner community bring. And it's cool. It surprises them, I think, because I think they're like, Utah? Well,
Feels
like the big burn.
And and maybe that's why it's so incredible, is that we thrive in a culture that maybe doesn't seem like it's conducive to that, and it's really awesome. So anyways, what I'd like to do is really briefly. I know a lot of people have been online asking when the dates are for the next Element 11. We haven't determined that yet, but we will be announcing that in January. So just be on the lookout for that. And then, right now I just want to turn the time over to Cameron, and she's going to give us a little recap of decompression. And Cameron is one of our regional contacts. So
Thank you for everyone who was able to attend decompression. I thought it was amazing. It was really fun to kind of go back to our roots and do a one-night party instead of a camping event. I don't know if we'll keep it this way or if we'll go back to camping. We'll see. But I thought it was a really fun change of pace. And this is kind of historically what this community has done. Was just as like a warehouse party. But it was fun to bring in kids and all ages and have it start earlier and stay later. And anyways, I thought it was awesome. So thank you so much. And thank you to the board of directors. I think, speaking on behalf of the regional contacts, but we do decompression as a huge thank you to them and to the community for working so hard all year to make this happen. So thank you, board. We appreciate you so much. About 520 people attend. We were able to give out $1,925 in art grants. The total revenue was $11,954 and a little change. Our expenses were $9,708. And so we profited $2,246.
Yes.
So this means we can do it again next year and give out art grants and get some more art out. And it's so fun to do something locally that isn't so huge. Element 11 is such a huge deal. Decompression is a little bit smaller, more condensed, fun thing where we can go out and show our art and get together as a community. So thank you, and keep an eye out for Burners Without Borders projects. If you have any ideas, please contact me through Facebook. We have the Burners Without Borders Utah chapter on there. And so if you have any ideas, please, we're always looking for ideas. We're already talking to James Loomis about collaborating again this next summer or spring or summer with the Wasatch Community Gardens. I think it's an awesome fit. We were the largest group that they've ever had come and volunteer. So I want to double that next year. And that'll be awesome. So keep an eye out for that. And if you want to be involved, let me know. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Cassie is up next.
thanks for everyone being here. I just wanted to go over the change of the board. So we have all want to give a huge thank you to everyone sitting up here. When you come onto the board of directors for Element 11, you sign a 3-year contract, and then you can re-up 1 year at a time for up to an additional 3 years. We do have quite a few of our members who are going to be rolling off this year, which left a lot of open shoes to have new leaders within our community step in and have a new vision for our community and step into a new leadership role. So I want to recognize those who are rolling off, and then the internal movement within the board, and then I'll announce our new board members who will be coming on this year. So those who are going to be rolling off who have served their term is Stan as our chairman. Michelle Davis, who is our secretary, and she's in St. George. Sarah, who's been our theme camp director and rock star. Martian with our community outreach. And then myself as general manager. So that left a few positions on our executive committee to fill. Our executive committee consists of our chairman, our vice chair, our general manager, our finance director, and our secretary. So we have 4 new people stepping into those roles on the board. Internal, you have to be on the board for 1 year to be eligible to apply to be or be nominated for an executive position. So our new chairman for 2018 is going to be Win John. Our vice chair is going to remain the same as last year, who's Matt Chiodo. Olga is going to be stepping into general manager role. Rachel, who is not able to be here today, Ratchet, is going to be stepping into the finance and box office role. And Callie is going to be stepping into secretary. So we do have some new onboarding board members that I wanted to recognize. And then we're going to be doing something new this year. Chase is taking on our infrastructure director lead. And encompasses EPW, which is a large job. And so we have Justin Hogue, who is going to be our lead EPW director. Cami, who's not able to be here today, is going to be taking Cami Chatterton, the volunteer director in community outreach. Alan Killingsworth is going to be our greeters and theme camp director.
There's Cammy.
Oh,
She just
Cammy!
That's why I was like, oh my god.
So Cami is going to be our volunteer director in community outreach. And if you guys want to come
Yeah,
up,
everyone should come up.
Come up and be recognized.
Yeah, you guys should come up. Yeah.
Beth Johnson is going to Johansson is going to be taking over ballyhoo. Crystal Miller is going to be taking over medical and sanctuary. Felix is going to be taking over gate, info booth, iCells, and lost and found. And then Joe Russo is back on the board, doing Rangers and event safety. We had so many wonderful nominations this year. We had 11 nominees to interview, and that's so many to go through, and so little amount of opportunity on the board. So we empower all of our leads to really show up because that's natural progression for becoming a board member, is really stepping into being a lead. Tammy was a lead this past year. Many of us have been leaders within our community. So I want to recognize some of the other leads that we recognize that are going to be assisting the board this year. Eric Spike is going to be a lead and Ben Argyle is going to be assisting as lead fast for
I'm doing DMV.
and Savannah Hammond is not here, but she's going to be taking a lead position with Cami.
And Andrea Warner is going to be my lead.
Andrea Warner is going to be a lead. If there's other leads that I've missed, I was not notified that you're stepping into.
There's a really good one back there.
Oh, Mindy? Sorry, never on my sheet. Mindy is an amazing lead for our Rangers. And are you doing kitchen?
No, Anna Sierra will be taking over as a lead for the volunteer lounge.
Okay, and we have Brandy stepping in for a Valley View lead as well. And Mark, everyone stand up, you're all in the amazing people to step up in our community. I'm thankful to have served on the board for 4 years and worked with these amazing friends and family, and look forward to what the new board has in store for us.
Thank you guys, congratulations. Olga, with financials, she's gonna talk about the money.
Hey, money.
Tell us how much our bonus is.
You guys get 120% raise.
Yep. Every year we get a raise. Yeah, and also I'm sure we're gonna have a lot more leads this year too that we haven't announced. So thank you guys, and we'll, our goal this year is to, like Cassie said, empower more leads and give them more recognition. So it's like a more gradual transition of becoming a board member, which will be awesome. So numbers. So right now in the bank we have 128,000. I'm rounding up, so 128,000. And expenses so far this year are at 147,000, and our current income so far is $176,000. And of course, we had an additional expense this year for police and road repair, which I've talked about previously, but that came to $45,000 this year total, $15,000 for police and $30,000 for roads. So we did spend more than we made this year, but that's why we have our emergency funds. If you're ever wondering why we have $100,000 in the bank, I mean, it's for emergencies like this. I mean, without this fund, we wouldn't have been able to get our permits this year, so we're kind of tied to what the county has us do. Plus, it's important for us to be able to pay for the festival, at least most of it up front, so we don't have to basically rely on ticket sales to pay for the event, because that can be really catastrophic if anything, like if we don't get our permits, then we have to refund everyone the money. So yeah, so that was kind of a big expense this year, but we're hoping that it was just a one-time expense and that next year it's going to be more maintenance costs for the roads and less police that we have to pay for. So yeah, everyone, thank you so much for everyone and their support with road repair, as well as just having a really safe and coherent festival. I think that's going to make a difference next year. Let's see. So, and we did budget $32,000 for our grants this year, and we do not intend to lower that next year. So we're going to have to adjust our budget a little bit, but we do plan on, staying consistent with, giving at least that much in our grants next year, if not more, if we can. Our goal is to try and increase our grants every year as much as we can. So we're definitely not going to decrease that. And just if people are interested, so right now we're making money from ticket sales, car passes, ice sales, burner day in the park, and we have had $789 in donations this year. So that kind of
Smile.amazon.com.
Yes. Yes. That's something I wanted to touch on actually. How many people know what Smile Amazon is? Awesome. Good. Okay. Good to hear. So basically, I mean, I was kind of new to this, but if you just make your regular Amazon purchases, but you go to smile.amazon.com and you select E11 as your nonprofit to donate to, then we get 0.5% of purchases.
Wow.
0.05.
Oh, it's 05? Ooh, okay.
I think I've donated $11.
Yeah, so that makes sense because we're about making like $100 every 3 months on that. So, you know, but hopefully the more people know about it, you know, I feel like we can make more. And thanks to Jeff, who pointed something out to me recently. If you Google Smile Always Chrome extension, there's like a little phone extension that you can just add to your computer and then it automatically takes you to smile.amazon, so you don't have to log into it every time. So that is totally free, doesn't change your purchases, but that's really helpful, I
Start
think.
using it, Amazon will remind you, did you mean to use Smile?
Yeah, I know. There you go. So that's
That should be a Bollywood thing. People need to know about that.
I just learned about that from you. So yeah, and then other than that, just a reminder, if anyone ever, yes.
Can you say it again?
The plugin thing, if you Google Smile Always Chrome extension for PCs, I don't know, Macs, it might be, probably Mac.
It's the same, it's a Chrome thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you use the Chrome browser.
It's a Chrome thing. So yeah, and then if you have any questions ever, or suggestions, or
Good
you know
idea.
anything that you'd like us to know, or you know want to know why we do things the way we do, please don't hesitate to email us at info@element11.org. We do look at those emails, and you know we try our best to respond
Is
to
it
them.
info or just BOD@element11.org?
It could be either.
Both still?
Yeah. Info is the one on our website. BOD is also the same thing. So yeah, and then you can come back to me if you have any other questions about our finances. I try to keep it relevant and not go into extensive detail, but it's all there if you want it. If you want to know about it. And then just a quick volunteer update. We are gonna be sending out the volunteer rewards soon. So look for those in the next couple weeks on your email. And if anyone has any questions, concerns, if their volunteer hours got recorded this year, then shoot me a message and I can just check on those for you. Because it's a huge project every year and it's really hard not to miss someone every year. And so I'm doing my best, but you know, just check in. If you're not sure if your hours got recorded or if someone wrote them down, they may not have, so just let me know because I can only go off of what I have. So
Take responsibility for your
take
own
responsibility for writing them down because
Self-reliance.
otherwise we can't
Radical
self-reliance.
self-reliance.
Cool. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you.
All right, Matt's up next to talk a little bit about the wonderful art and all the art things.
So many good art things. I thought our art at the event was amazing this year, guys. And I mean,
Yeah.
So many of those pieces returned to decompression this year, which is awesome. Really cool build-ups in our communities, even though we're kind of low on art cars right now. We're kind of thinking of a project.
We'll handle it.
Eric's gonna be there for you. Our theme is As You Wish this year. I'm excited about that. Fairy tales and love stories and all that good stuff. Our grant applications will open the week after Thanksgiving, so keep an eye out for a post from Facebook and some info on our site. I'm going to change that a little bit this year. It's been a web form in the past, which is kind of a cumbersome way to have people explain an art project. So this year we're just going to have you submit your own proposal, a professional email with images attached. You get to decide what you want me to know about your project. We'll give you some guidelines on the web page, but I'll do that this year. That'll be open until January 31st, right? With decisions by the end of February. So that's what our process looks like in the next few months. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with.
Theme art.
Theme art? Oh yeah, we need your theme art submissions also. When are we going to open that again? I forgot.
They were supposed to be open after this town hall.
Okay.
Now that
So-
we released the theme.
Yeah, so as you wish, we want to see your ticket art. We need to put up some guidelines for those as well. We need those images to be print ready. We want you to have a poll proposal package for those also. So we'll give you the sizes for the badges and the different things we need to make so you can ready those images, and that'll be open probably just to the end of December, right?
Do you remember what it is?
I don't remember what it was, but I can look in the calendar.
We announced it at
We're behind.
tree completion last.
Yeah, we didn't decide until the start last
Yeah,
year.
so that wasn't until like March, so.
We'll get you the dates on those really quick, really soon matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, theme art and art grant applications.
Cool. All right, next up.
Oh yeah, the theme was submitted by Lillian, who's 11 years old, and it's Sarah's daughter. She's it's over her birthday. I wonder, well, historically it has been over her birthday, so how fun is that?
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Cool. Martian, tell us a little bit about.
Wonder.
He was not prepared.
What am I? Yeah, what is it?
Give us an update on the Wonder events.
All right.
We have one coming up, don't we?
Yes, we do. So the Wonder event is going to be. Thank you. I agree. It is going to be awesome. Absolutely made the agenda. So that's the thing too. It's going to be gifting and decommodification. We're going to be having people come together. You're going to be wearing. Well, I'm going to be wearing a Santa outfit. You can wear whatever you want to as far as Christmas attire goes. And you're going to be bringing a gift. And that gift is going to be wrapped up, but it's not going to be a store-bought gift. It's going to be something that you have made. And it's going to be a lot of fun just to see you make what your creativity is or whatever that is. I have some ideas that I'm going to make, but I don't want to share those. I want to get some, get people all excited. I want to get you excited. I just don't want to spoil my own surprise.
Is it a White Elephant Exchange then at the event?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where is it?
That's a good question. I wish I had known. I was the talk. I should look at the agenda. But if you give me a couple minutes, I can look on the event on Facebook. But yeah, I don't know exactly. Super sorry, but that's how this cookie crumbled.
What's the date? Like December 2nd?
It is December 2nd, and it's going to be from 7 to 11, if I'm correct. Yeah. So I'll probably just stand up and shout after I look at the event. And if you want to have more questions, talk to me about it. If you have more questions, let me know. You can also talk to Cammie Chatterton, that's what she's been helping me with all year. That was the lead role. She has been my left hand on all the Wonder events, and she is just a badass. You guys are gonna love her. I love her. So, yeah. And I'll probably stand up and let you know in a second.
All right. Well, before we turn it over to Q&A and get your feedback, I just wanted to take a brief second and first thank this amazing board that I've had the pleasure of working with. And I just kind of want to go down and give them all a little thank you because I can't do this without them. They make my job easier, and the camaraderie that we have to get this thing done. If you don't have that, there's no event, really. And so, I'll start just with Callie. She had big shoes to fill because she had to take over for Ballyhoo, which is what I was doing. And she's been kicking it. I think she's been doing a great job getting the announcements out, making sure that you guys are informed, even with Facebook being, kind of dickish about money for all posts so that everybody sees it. And she's had to put up with, my, grilling her in terms of doing Ballyhoo because it was my baby, and so I put a little bit more pressure on her, and she's done a great job with it. And now she'll do a great job as secretary. And thank you. Chase, this is his first year. He's fresh fish, and he brings this amazing Sophista Pirate energy now to our board of directors. And I think he helped create one of the best center camps we've ever had at Element 11.
Yeah.
It absolutely like taking it up a level, which is kind of, in my opinion, I always feel like as a board member, the goal, really the ultimate goal of being a board member is to leave the board better than you found it. And I think that I can honestly say that when I leave, it's the team that's going in next year is just going to be absolutely phenomenal, and it makes me very, very happy. Sarah has been our Jedi. I think she's the only official Jedi on
Totally the only
board. And what she has been able to do with getting camps on the map, working with people to get camp placement, and also her work with the Consentosars, which is an absolutely, it's a really critical thing for our community to see that whole idea of consent and what that means. And what she's been able to do with that and to help out with that has been incredible. She has also made sure that I camp next to my bush, which is very important. And that's something that, like, you know.
It has to happen.
She has the power. It has to happen.
It has to happen.
And this is she's rolling off the board and has just done some absolutely amazing work during her time on the board, and I really thank you for that.
Super successful
And the burner days the burner days in the park, and it's yeah, absolutely amazing. So thank you. Phil is also his first year, and he is really in charge of making sure that we have these safe burns. He accomplished that this year with a statewide burn ban. So what a lot of people don't really realize is that we really should not have been doing that. I mean, as you're driving to Stargazer and you're seeing like obliterated black hillsides, and you're like, we're really gonna
Burn stuff?
And they're cool with it? Yeah. A lot of that has to do with Phil and making it safe and working with an incredible fire team and safety team. And that was year number 1. He got thrown into the fire, literally, and just did an amazing job. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Phil.
Martian. So Martian came up with this really cool idea. And the idea was to basically create community outreach and create community events that teach people about the 10 principles of Burning Man. Because I think a lot of times what happens is we go to Element 11 or we go to some of these events and we don't realize what the foundations are or why we are doing this thing. Some people don't even know what Burning Man is who go to Element 11. And a lot of people who do go to Burning Man or who go to Element 11 don't even know what the 10 principles are. And so what he has done is he's created a community outreach with Cami, and they have worked together to create a single event each month that details one specific element or one specific principle of Burning Man. And it's been amazing to see the impact that has to the greater community, teaming up to help make burritos and feed them to the homeless. We also did picking up trash.
Karaoke for a cause.
Karaoke for a cause. So it's actually trying to spread this idea out to the community. So it isn't just about going to an event. It's how are we going to make this world a better place? And that's really what Burning Man wants us to do. It's you go to Burning Man, you get inspired. You go to Element 11 and you get inspired. And now you go out and you make this place better, right? And so thank you for what you created and how awesome.
It was an idea. I didn't create it. All of us did. Because you guys, it can't happen without just, me and Cami can't just show up and make it happen.
Yeah.
2, the event is here, my bad, and it's 6:30 to 10.
December 1st. First or
Second.
I think it says first on.
Does it say first?
Friday.
It does, it is the first. Now. I can read sometimes.
Darren is our communications guy. So he's the guy that puts the walkie-talkies in our hands. But he is also in charge of our website. To the people who actually, and yes, there are people who still go to our website to get their primary source of information. And so he's been in charge of that and helping with communication, and it's been absolutely vital for what we're doing. He's also just been incredibly good about just getting us going on things and really having a good energy that I think he brings to the board. And he cares. It's those moments of passion where he's like, God damn it, let's do stuff. And I like that. And we need that, because when you actually see people getting flustered about Element 11, about this thing that is a really great experience, and you have so much heart in it, and you're seeing people just wanting to make that change and to make it a better place. And that, to me, is really awesome. And I appreciate that. And thank you for what you're doing for us. Yeah. So Matt's been my vice chair this year, and he's, I think, been one of the best art directors that we've had at Element 11. He, not only did he bring so much incredible art to the playa this year, but he also helped make that art. It was not enough just to, get everybody wrangled, but he actually joined the team that created the big upright. Yep. And that's awesome, because we really didn't have an effigy for Element 11, and he said, well, then we'll do it. And so he was able to work with a great team. They got it done. It was an incredible effigy, it was an incredible burn, but he is working with so many artists, getting them placed, making sure that he works with Sarah, making sure he works with EPW to make sure that these artists are getting placed, and that the art is up to code, that they're getting their job done, art grants, making sure that people are getting paid. And that's not easy. Like having to go, we don't think that's gonna work, or yep, that's awesome, bring it. That's a hard decision, because all the art is incredible. And so having to make those difficult decisions, he has to do that. And it's hard having to turn artists away. And it's hard having to make sure that artists are accountable for the stuff that they're doing. And he's done it. And he's done an incredible job. And he will do the same this year, I have no doubt, or this next year. So thank you for all your work. I really appreciate it. Olga is just a firecracker. She is on it. And she brings an energy, and she sometimes, it isn't enough just to send these posts, but she has to apologize for, I'm sorry, I'm writing this again, I'm sorry it's long, I'm sorry, and it's like, no, never apologize. You are bringing ideas, you are keeping people on task, and you are going to be an incredible general manager, because that's what it requires, and it's making sure everybody's doing their shit. And you do it very well. And you have brought an energy and a love and a professionalism to this board that I think is infectious, and we are now starting to see that. I even commented that when we used to do the interview process, all the interviews I was ever in for board members, we'd always have a couple of fun, questions and stuff like that. And this year, it was about, we really are looking for good board members, and it was so serious. And I was like, that's great, because we are taking this thing very seriously. We don't want to take it too seriously. Once you're in, then you can, wear the goofy hats and do all the crazy shit. But it's that level of professionalism, and I think you contribute to that. And I think it's absolutely important, because we want to have fun. We want to create this air of radical fun, but we're still a nonprofit. We are still a 501c3. We still have obligations, and we are still in the professional world. And so thank you for all the stuff. Never apologize for anything. You're killing it. She's awesome. Cassie knows more about everything than I do. So she's just that amazing at all Burning Man things. And it's like, and I'll be honest, I'll fumble through some of this stuff as chairman, and I know she knows it way better than I do. But she's been incredibly supportive in allowing me to grow within the role, to be able to work with Box Elder County to make sure that we're getting our permits. She's had to do a lot of hard work behind the scenes, as we all have, and making some very difficult decisions and having to have those conversations so that we can have an event. What a lot of people see is only on the surface. They see the finished product. And what goes on in the kitchen is at times very stressful, and it's very difficult. And it requires a fortitude, and I'm probably scaring all the new board members. Gear up! You're gonna get but it takes a lot of work, and she has managed to just do an incredible job making sure the meetings are running, making sure that we are getting stuff going, and she's I could not have done this without her. She is that valuable to me in terms of this position, and so I really thank you for everything that you've done. Ratchet's not here, so if she's watching this, which she hopefully will be, she is also one of the newbies this year. She nailed it in her totally professional polka dot like awesome outfit for her interview, and it was like, who is this person? I knew her, and she came on the board and just absolutely killed it. She was the one who constantly reminded me and was that person that I could go to go, okay, how do I thank people? How do I keep the morale up? What do I do? She was my go-to to be able to say, this is what we can do. Let's do this, and we'll do this, and how about this, and an idea, and like bringing food to a board meeting, or let's do some of this stuff. And she was the person who always, sometimes I get too caught up in the business side of things, and I forget that, hey, thank you. You guys are awesome. I want to help you. Let's have some fun. Let's actually get some food or drinks or go out and have fun. And Ratchet was the one to really help me with that. And not only that, she did an amazing job with box office and greeters this year. I mean, she just absolutely killed it. So she's not here, but or ticket sales. I mean, and just an absolutely amazing job. And also, she had to deal with the ice. And that was a really difficult situation because you have, if you want to see burners suddenly become bloodthirsty, you wait for them to, when they're not getting the ice truck, when the ice truck is not coming, you get to see a different side of your burners. And a lot of times that is sort of out of our hands, right? You're kind of relying on Costco to show up. And so she had to have those conversations with them. And I mean, of course, when they showed up, it was like, oh, thank God. The happiest I think I've ever been seeing an ice truck. But that's Ratchet. And she is going to go into this new year with a background in finance, starting to work in finance. And it's going to be absolutely incredible to see what she's going to be able to bring to this thing. And so let's give her a hand. She's not here, but almost done. I swear to God, I'm almost done. Michelle's not here. Michelle's down in warm St. George, and she's been our secretary. And it's been, it's no easy task to telecommute. And she has done an absolutely amazing job. We have to video conference into all of our meetings to make sure that it works. But she is still getting all of the events planned. She is making sure they get on the calendar. And really, she also, in addition to Cassie, is always reminding me, you can't do that. That's against the bylaws. I'm like, oh, that's right. Because I'm just really bad about that. I'm like, I'm going to vote on everything. Well, you can't really do that, Stan. Oh, okay. And so it's a good reminder for her to say, now, honey, listen, this is not how that works. And it's a good reminder for me to go, oh, yeah, that's right, okay. And she's absolutely great. She knows a lot about Element 11 as well. And she's done an absolutely incredible job as our secretary, making sure that we are getting our jobs done and being a part of the executive committee, which is a really critical committee. It's the secretary, it's the vice chair, it's the general manager, it's finance, and it's the chairman. And they will oftentimes meet to discuss certain issues that they then want to bring to the board and just trying to come up with some ideas. And she's been such a critical part of that. So, Michelle, you're not here, but thank you for everything that you've done. All right, Win, get up here.
Get the paddles
So this is the ceremonial
Ceremony?
ceremony of the defrocking, which is what I think he called it. And this was given to me by Joe. It belongs to the chairman. Shit, maybe I am gonna cry. So, Wynn's gonna be the new chairman. Wynn has done so much with Box Elder County this year, having these difficult conversations with the sheriff's department, making sure that we have this event. The footwork that he has done on roads, on securing medical. It is the edge of chaos, and he is living in that chaos when he works in this position. And I can't think of a better person to fill my chair, really. The chair comes with me, but you still get you can sit on my lap if you want. I'll be your training wheels. But I can't think of a better person to take over this job. It's one of the most challenging and most rewarding jobs. And I don't even know that I will fully appreciate it until after I'm off the board. And I've thought a lot about what it takes to be a chairman. And I think Wynn possesses all of those qualities of being patient, of being thoughtful, of thinking things through, not letting lizard brain take over. He's a deadhead, so that gives him extra credit.
The worst part.
Yeah. And so this is really big responsibility, man. You got this. You're going to be an amazing chairman. So you can pin it on. I'm not going to pin it on. You can do it yourself. But Wynn's going to be an amazing chair. So, final thoughts. I've seen a lot in 3 years. This will be me rolling off the board, literally rolling off the board. Yeah, they're the jokes. You're going to be so glad not to have these jokes. When I first came on the board, we had some major challenges. The first was moving to Stargazer, and Stargazer has been absolutely amazing to work with. These guys and gals have what they have done this year in working with us. Letting their home be our home, getting the roads done, working with Box Elder County. Thank you guys. I want to give Stargazer a big round of applause because it's been no easy feat. That was the first thing that we had to deal with coming into this first, my first time on board as Ballyhoo. And it was, we're moving to Stargazer. And we've seen a move to Stargazer. We've seen a return to an all ages event. We've seen Logo Gate. That was fun. And that was a learning experience. And I've also seen, having come on in the shadow of tragedy, and seen a community like totally kick ass. Like take that and like run with it and create a beautiful temple. And I've seen so much healing in this community. It's the power of what we can create. We can take something that horrible and make and still carry on. And not only carry on, but thrive. And we are thriving. Our event gets bigger and better every single year. And I hope it continues to do that. I mean, we do this because we are trying to ignite a culture of radical inclusion and radical self-expression. And we're doing that. And you're doing that. And we cannot do that without all of you guys. So the thing I would say is continue to volunteer. Reach out to your friends and let them know this is a really cool thing to be a part of. This is an absolutely amazing experience. All right, I'm gonna leave with a poem. Because I like Shel Silverstein, and he's kind of he's kind of one of my faves, and so here's the poem. Hang on, I gotta pull it up. There we go. This is called Put Something In. And I know that sounds really dirty. Alright, so draw a crazy picture, write a nutty poem, sing a mumble-gumble song, whistle through your comb, do a loony-goony dance, cross the kitchen floor, put something silly in the world that ain't been there before. Thank you all for letting me be your chairman. So let's turn it over to you guys. I want to have you talk, because I've just taken up the last 2 hours talking. So any questions, any feedback, anything you'd like to discuss, or, you know, whatever. Oh yeah, we have to do our ticket too. So do I do the ticket first?
Do the ticket.
Let's do the ticket first, then we'll.
I saw, Jeremy, did you get a ticket before you came in? Okay. Tammy, did you get one?
I didn't know.
Are there any?
In the house?
No.
Oh,
But technically, so does everyone here.
oh yeah, there was one kid in there.
Nick,
Nick, did your daughter get a ticket?
Yeah, but I put it in the regular one. In the regular one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to.
How many other kids are here? 2? Okay,
Yeah,
so we'll just flip a coin.
Yes. Heads and tails. I think I got a quarter.
Okay, Odyssey is heads, and where's your coin?
Oh man, I'm a pirate with no coin.
No swag. He's got no swag.
Okay, Odyssey, your heads? Okay, and I don't know the other kid's name. What's her name? Gregan?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
As it lies.
It's told. So Gregan.
Oh shit, Reagan!
Lesson here, bring your kids to this.
You had a question?
I did have a
We have
question.
another ticket.
Oh, we have one for
I gotta win my ticket first.
probably.
You're actually on the 86 list, Jeff. Sorry.
We just voted.
Telepathically. It was unanimous.
Brandon Luke, you won last year.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Did you win this year?
Yeah, you won this year, right?
Yes. You had a ticket to Burning Man.
Wow.
So
He's getting all the
What
tickets.
you got? So
Hey, I
he's
put
gonna.
in. I helped
Brandon-
with 4 projects.
Yeah.
He is a badass volunteer, guys.
I think
Congratulations.
with volunteer hours, he was gonna get a ticket anyway.
Yeah.
are snacks and drinks in the cooler, so help yourself. But do we have any
Yeah, I
open?
have a question. It's like half comment, half question. So I know that like I actually didn't get a lot of notifications of things this year, and I know that that's mostly like a Facebook problem. They've just recently got really aggressive with making you pay for people to see anything that you post. So have other people had that same problem where you haven't seen event invites yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would suggest at this point, maybe you've already thought of this or talked about it, but the salt shaker is actually a pretty good way to like communicate those things, and it goes across everyone. So I would hope that maybe that would be a tool that's used a little more. And do you guys need help with that?
Yeah. Do we have a volunteer who'd like to take on the salt shaker?
I think
I have no time, but I wanted to open it up for anybody who needs a volunteer opportunity. So like this is actually a really good thing to help you get involved. In fact, some of the volunteers of the past, Carrie Larson, I think, was the original salt shaker person. She was doing that before she was on the board, and that led to her being on the board. So it's an awesome opportunity. If you're not helping with anything right now and you have a little extra time, you should definitely talk to them about that.
Yeah, and on the Facebook thing, if you guys want to start seeing the posts, you can go back to our page and you can actually click on the like button and then click on see first. So there'll be 3 categories: see first, default, and then like not see. So if you see first, you will literally see every single post.
Yeah,
And follow. And you also want to follow.
Yeah, follow and see
also,
first.
everything is cross-posted in Utah Burners, E11 volunteers, and the Sophista Pirates, as well as sometimes the Rangers page. So if you're on any of those, everything we post gets put in there at least once every time we have an event or something new that's
on my thing. If you put that you follow it, you can usually get it as like an actual thing on your feed.
And yeah, well, and also on that, how many of you guys have friends that are in the burner community that are not here? Raise your hand. Okay, so every single little bit of a post, we'd appreciate if we could get 10 to 15, 20, 30 different likes, comments, shares, and try to do all 3 if you can. You know, even just a little smiley face or like a pirate symbol would be cool, but woo! I'm not biased. But and then share it, and then try and share it too. So
Yeah, share it on your own page.
That really helps
That's a great way to spread it too. I
Even
know.
liking it will actually show it on other
Yeah,
people.
liking it, sharing
yeah,
it,
sharing
showing you're interested or you're going, all those things
Yeah.
show up.
So
Yeah, don't let Facebook screw us, man.
we rely heavily on your guys' likes.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments?
Are we opposed to outside art being brought in from other communities?
No.
No.
We want to fire truck our
I'll work on it.
We've taken Idaho.
I'll work on it.
We had the
Our
temple
temple
from San
My
Diego.
art car plans on having a poofer, so I'll work on it.
fire truck our car.
Well, it'll be a Viking boat, but it'll poof.
So one of the things that Element 11 has tried to do is invest in our art grants for sustainable, returnable art. And so we would like to see more art that is returnable, or if you have created an art piece in the past, we have art granted for maintenance. So if there's something that you need to do to upgrade your art piece that you brought in years past, we want to see it come back to the event. So that is something that you can put in an art grant for returnable art for maintenance or upgrade. And more, I personally would like to see more interactive art at the festival. Or we did have some feedback after our feedback session was for more art that can be utilized in the daytime. So if this is inspiring anything in your mind as far as like, what can I do to create something that can be played with or interactive in the daytime as well as the nighttime? That was also some feedback that we had received from our previous session.
Yeah, and start thinking about it now. Start coming up with those ideas, and you know, or even I know some people have even been thinking about ideas for I don't think this next year, but the year after.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the ideas are already coming, and it's really great. And also, the temple is not locked, right? We don't have people who are our temple people or our effigy builders.
It's always open.
It's open to anybody.
Yeah.
If you want to build the temple, submit for it. If you want to come up with a design for our temple next year,
Or the main.
Or the
or the main effigy, submit for it.
Get it.
Which we need.
Yeah, which we need.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, it was like Matt discovered, We had nobody for either the temple or the effigy this year. A lot of people may not know that. So San Diego helped us out tremendously by bringing their temple. And Matt and his crew were like, well, we'll build the effigy. Because there was actually, we came that close to actually not having either. So please, it's not, we don't have a crew who does the temple and does the main effigy. You guys could do it. Kids could design it.
Your kids could do it.
Your kids could design the effigy. And you know what? As you wish there's some pretty cool ideas for some temples that I'd love to see. I'd love to see kids design it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if you submit an idea for an effigy or a temple, does that mean that you have to construct it and put it together and everything?
Yep.
And get
Yep.
Yeah,
You
get
need a
help
team
to do
and a
that.
crew
Can
and
you get help to do that? Like,
materials.
because I think that that's one thing is people are like, I don't know how to build a temple, or I don't know how to build an effigy. Like, is there some kind of structure of like, okay, well, I have this idea.
Putting it
How
out
can I
there,
get
starting to
help?
talk to people. And you know what? We've got the Utah Builders community now. And the Utah Builders community was created for the idea of fostering like resources and help and people to, I mean, John, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if
was
I
just
wanted
gonna
to come up with an
mention that,
idea.
Yeah, if anybody's thinking of proposing that and is uncertain about the logistics of building large burnable art, approach me and Bobby Gittens, Facebook or through email or whatever. Yeah, last year we were a little preoccupied, but
For sure.
taking a break. So
Yeah.
we have a great crew, and I know we can rely on some of those people to help. So,
Yeah, that's definitely a good place to find volunteers that have a lot of experience
Mm-hmm.
and the drive to want to help.
do it.
'Cause we put
Yeah.
in countless numbers of hours.
Well,
So that's
Right.
And that's creating an opportunity for people to volunteer, to get active in our community. And that's one of the greatest gifts you can do is to go, hey, I have a really cool project. I want you to be a part of it. And give people some of that ownership in the creation of it. And
those also count as volunteer hours, right?
no, those don't.
Okay.
Those don't. So it's non-volunteer, like it's volunteering, but not like for a project.
Because you get art grants.
No, one
You
of
get the
the
satisfaction of being a part of amazing artistic endeavor.
and one of the awesome things too about doing that is even if you aren't a builder, so much more goes into the creation of an art piece that's not a swing and a hammer. Anne has done amazing stuff with crochet work, has brought in wonderful women and men to come and assist with creating a different sense of art through working with your hands. We've done paper folding, we've done, crochet art. So there's a lot more that goes into a project than the lumber piece of it.
Hauling
So-
stuff, moving stuff around,
Yeah.
decorating,
Fundraising.
feeding
Fundraising,
people.
feeding,
Managing finances.
Or if you want to be, if you're a performer,
Yeah, fluffing.
if you are, an actor and actress, and you're like, I'd like to perform a show, like that's art. So really, it isn't just necessarily building. Art can be so many different things, and we love the variety. And if it's interactive, that's even better. So
Look at a Lumicone.
right?
Yeah.
That's just a thing that's propped up basically, but it's interactive and it's art.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there was also, we do get quite a few funneled questions, and I think they're good to bring out to the community because if one person has a question, there's probably 10 other people that have a similar question, but just hasn't asked it yet, right? So one of the other things that has come through was, well, is there going to be, this thing at Center Camp, or is there going to be a prom this year? Well, you guys get to create that. Chase is our Center Camp lead, but if there's something that you want to bring to the festival, if you want to bring a prom, or if you want to bring a Pam time, or if you want to do a workshop, or if you want to host a class, that's all brought by you. That's not us going out and finding people. That's you guys coming to us and saying, hey, I want to do this really cool thing. When can I do it? I'd like to do it, on this time or that time. There are set live music and different things that are scheduled. And we always try to fill up the calendar, but if there's something that you want to bring or want to see or participate in, then bring it. It's an open platform for anyone to create at our event.
And nowhere else are you going to have that opportunity to come up with an idea, get paid for that idea, and actually see it come to fruition with a built-in audience, like already there. Like that is a really cool experience that even in the bigger world, like very few people get that opportunity to be able to, you know, have like an art gallery show or something like that. You have it now, an art gallery that 1,300 people are going to attend, and it's awesome. That's a really cool experience. Yeah.
And encouraging more minors and children. I know that over the years we've now increased the attendance of children that have come to our festival. Encouraging them to create, or art grants being distributed to the children in the community.
They're our future.
Well,
More you know.
Sean's little boy Shaden was,
Yeah.
Jaden was 9.
Yeah.
And he came up with an incredible art piece
Yeah.
that was placed at our festival this year. That was so badass.
Yeah.
I spent way too much time looking at it, but it was great. It was so much fun.
He's also one of the best volunteers we've ever
he's
met.
awesome.
That's true. Jaden's an amazing guy.
Cam, you had a question, or Rio? Cam and then Rio.
Well, I was just gonna, if people didn't see this, I posted on Facebook. Burning Man has some art grant money that they want to grant to people who, they say, are you interested in creating interactive, community-based art in your hometown? Contact Burning Man. The applications are open now. They're open until December 20th. And I think it would be so cool to get that in our hometown and a piece of art.
Is it place civic art then?
Pardon me?
Does it have to be place civic art? Where
It sounds like it. Well, it's interactive, community-based art in our hometown.
Bring it to mobile.
And there are more. You know, if you have questions, I have an email that you can ask more questions to. But yeah, I might as well get it in our. Right here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you have any
That's
questions,
awesome. That's cool.
Rio.
Rio.
Have you guys, do we know when Element 11 is yet? Or
No, so
can
the
we
new
just not
board
see
will
it
vote on
Facebook?
that. So it'll be decided in January, but the new board members are the ones who will determine that. So once they start their term, that's their first item of business to tackle.
If you have an opinion, you might want to send an email.
A winter burn? Would you guys? What about a winter burn?
No.
Yes, please.
No, Stan.
Please.
I like onesies.
No.
So one of the things that's always
Spring.
the festival is always at, you know, can change. So what will be discussed is the time frame of when the event is going to happen. I know at the town hall where we collected a lot of feedback, a lot of people were like, can we move it to May? Can we move it to June? Can we have it later on in the year? So the date, also establishing, is it still going to be a Wednesday through a Sunday event? That is also something that will be discussed. So if you have suggestions or feel a certain way or passionate about it, then send the board an email so that they can take that in consideration. Again, if you have a feeling, 10 other people probably have the same one that just haven't spoken up yet. Yes.
So I've been talking with Phil, Stan, some of the other board about our perimeters. And usually we've just been staffing with the Rangers and a couple fire personnel. We're gonna write more stuff down, so I've also gotta talk with Joe, but we're gonna ask the community to come together during our burns, and we need to have 100% perimeter. If we don't have 100% perimeter, this has come from Stan, this has come from Phil, we will not burn our art. So we are a community, we need to come together, secure that perimeter. And we don't have enough rangers in the community to do that, and we can't expect them to have to work every burn. So we're asking people to take an hour or two out of their time to make sure that we can burn that art. So we're gonna come up with more about that, but it needs to happen. We're responsible for each other out there.
Yep.
Mark, what is a 100% perimeter? Is it like shoulder to
360.
shoulder or like 5 people?
That
All the
like
way
5 feet?
around.
all the way around,
Shoulder,
and it could be
shoulder?
arm lengths. Well, the issue is we've had with the staffing that we've had out there, we've only been able to create a half moon perimeter, and then we've counted on us and Box Elder County, and sometimes when my buddy Nick can bring his BLM crews down, we've counted on them to secure the back end, and that creates issues. We had the artist from one project that was able to come to the back side of the perimeter to find out why he couldn't be down there, but he was able to come find me, and he shouldn't have been able to get past
Anywhere close to
anywhere there. It's because of the backside. And with the history in our community, with what happened at Burning Man, it's got to come down. It's got to come down to 100% perimeter. And
And Joe is our event safety director, and he will be writing or developing some sort of a policy or what that looks like. He'll be talking with all of the art installations, and we'll determine with them, you know, gaining their support as far as setting perimeter, working with the rangers. And so Joe is going to be the director of that, and we'll be able to announce what that looks like and determine our burns because he is event safety.
Yeah.
And I'll be working with Phil on that.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of effigy design for this year, the 100% perimeters may indeed mean we have smaller effigies. So your design should be scalable. We may not be trying to max out our size requirements like we usually do.
And that size goes not just to the perimeter, but it also goes to the fire hazard up there. I mean, everybody that came to Element 11 this year saw how much fire hazard there is. You know, and I hear people all the time, it's like, oh, it's just cheap grass and sagebrush. But, but that stuff burns hot. It burns really hot and really fast, and it's very destructive. And we have a responsibility.
Realize that if it goes the wrong way, it could go.
Well, that's where I'm going. So not just camp. We have a responsibility to those communities that allow us to bring our community there. And if we burn down their town, we burn down their cattle, we burn down their home, they're not going to allow us to come back.
And it's one of the fears that a lot of the residents actually have. I mean, if you can imagine being in a town that's a statewide fire ban and hearing that there's people coming in to burn giant 20-foot art structures, it's scary. It's a little terrifying. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to be civically responsible as well.
So I know the board has kind of, in the past, we've kind of tried to grow the event every year, like by 100 people or something like that, to continue growing it like that. But the Rangers haven't really grown. So I would suggest, if you haven't already talked about this, to talk about the possibility of either stopping or even decreasing the amount of people that are coming to the event, because more people is more people to manage when you're doing
If you
your
come to our board meetings as a regional representative, you would have heard that we have already made that
Can I do
determination.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I
You're a
think
meta
sometimes we
regional.
think we have to keep building. I
regional.
don't think that's necessarily doable. I think you have to scale it for the resources that you have.
Yeah.
And knowing that we need enough people to volunteer over the course of 5 days, and we also don't want too many people so that it becomes, an issue. That could be its own
We don't
issue.
want to lose the sense of what the event is to us, and growing just to grow numbers
Right.
doesn't make sense. So we do need the infrastructure
Yeah.
to be
Agreed.
there, and if that means even scaling back to, then that is something. But the new board that is rolling on, that's a challenge that they get to discuss. We do have a contract with Stargazer where we are allowed to increase our capacity by 100 persons, but that doesn't mean that we have to.
Permit only goes.
Or will.
Or will, yeah. The permitting, we always get permitted for 1,500 people. Anything over that just is increased price and insurance, where we could get to 1,500, but we don't have to, and the board may choose not to go that route, but we have made it in our contract with Stargazer that we can increase up to 1,500 this following year, but that again is up to the discretion of the board to look at what's best and for safety and infrastructure wise as far as volunteers.
We didn't even sell out this year, right?
It's like 350.
We didn't.
We did not.
1350.
Close, but this year was interesting. It's amazing that we sold as many as we did, having brought in vehicle passes and expanding. So really, we did amazingly well with those added expenses and stuff. Because it is hard. I mean, that's asking people to pay a little bit more to come to the event. Obviously, we had legitimate reasons for doing that, but people still, we sold a lot of tickets, and it was really awesome, yeah.
So just keep it where it's at, because we're doing good. Then obviously we'd be the guest there, correct?
And get your friends to volunteer more.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. More community involvement would just mean.
Does
that
anyone
would
else have any other
cap out better.
questions? No? Thank you. Oh, yes,
I
Marvin.
got one.
Yeah.
How important is the theme to being like one of the burnable projects?
It's not.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
Or dinosaurs.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
The main
Where did that
effigy usually is kind of within the realm of the theme, but the rest of them, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hope to see you all on December 1st at 6:30 right here. Hell yeah. Wear a onesie with me. Come on.
Now that you got the date right?
Is that everything? Yes, I did, right?
Thanks, guys.
Love you all.
I guess not. He said that the people he was dropping off at the airport. He was dropping off? Yeah, it was dropping off at the airport.